So you have to let us know. So I'm quickly going to go through the process. You'll notice from the wall, hopefully you can see from the camera, I've already pre-applied some with the scrim tape. But if I just quickly open the box, hopefully you can see from there, what you get inside of the kit. For anyone that's not seen one before, you get the roller, you get some scrim tape for reinforcing the corners, you get the powder and the liquid. This one I'm going to be using today is the grey one, but we also do it in white. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this up. While I'm mixing it up, Glenn, would you just mind just talking about the benefits of using WPC?
No problems.
Good.
No problems. Well, I'll let you mix up. So, yeah, good afternoon, CTD and team. So, I don't know if you are aware, but there's been over the last, well, decades of use for shower areas. I think we've all seen that they can rot out in the background, even if you are using resistant boards, etc. So pretty well much insurance companies these days, if you have a leak in a shower, you've not appropriately waterproofed the background, then basically the onus is on you. So hence the British standards have changed 5385 to say that any commercial or domestic environment wet area must be appropriately waterproofed. So we've got a fantastic kit there of WPC. We're running out at a really good price for CTD. So the idea behind this is to sell it as a system. So if you're using our WPC along with our tile adhesives and grouts, then you're covered and you've got a peace of mind there. So is there any questions on backgrounds or anything like that that needs no primer required on this product? Have we all seen it in branch? Have you used it? Have you sold it? Questions to you guys? Anyone? Can you hear me? Not if you can hear me.
Yeah, we saw this quite a lot.
Back up to me. Yeah, got us back on, Charlotte. I'll put the box away. Okay, so WPC, watch me mix it up then. It was a liquid and a powder. I mixed the two parts together. I mix it to a consistency that I can roll it on the wall, obviously hence the roller sleeve. Now WPC is a two-coat system, but what you can also do with this product, because it's a two-part mix, you can mix it a little bit thicker. If you've got any holes in the walls, any glides, any pipes, anything like that, we're going to trace it out. You can also mix this product a little bit thicker and patching with that, okay? I put the scrim in the corners, as you can see from the close-up camera, obviously to reinforce them. Let that go off. And now, really coat the roller up. And roller coat on. Easy as that. And it has one coat, takes about 30 minutes to go off. And then it has a second coat in the opposite direction. Now we say within 90 minutes you could tile on this. Why do we say tile 90 minutes? We allow 30 minutes for your patching coat for doing your corners with your scrim. That'll take 30 minutes to go off. Then 2 further coats like I'm doing now. So 30 minutes between them all. So that's 90 minutes. And you can really tile on this after 90 minutes. Now, as you say, we also do it in white. The reason we developed the white one, again, feedback from contractors is they were struggling to see their pencil marks with the grey one, so they asked could we make a white one. It is slightly off white, but again, it's more than enough for what they need for marking out. Also good with translucent stones and stuff like that, to have a white background. You can see how easy that is to apply. The kit itself, can anybody tell me how far the kit goes? At 2 coats, there we go.
Is it 6 square meters?
It is. Very good. Give yourself a pat on the back. Get in the corner. Now, a little trick for you, do you see that real close up? Sometimes people struggle in the corners. There's nothing, no harm with loading up a paintbrush and just paintbrushing in the corners. No issue with that whatsoever. What you also get, because it's a cement-based sort of textured product, and it goes on with the roller, it gives you a good sort of texture or a good key to be able to tile on. So that was really easy. Nice simple thing. So that's ordinary plasterboard, waterproof now. That would be okay in the shower. The two products I showed you this morning, the ARDEX NA and the ARDEX K301, the guys that tuned in, this product will go on top of them as well if you want to stop the water attacking them from that way. Not that it'll harm them, but if you want a complete tank, you can do that. As you say, really fast and really quick. So don't forget, first coat, you can mix it up a little bit thicker, put your scrim tapes on and fill your corners in, because sometimes the plasterer, that might not be a nice tight corner like I've got there. So you might have to do a bit of patching and a bit of filling in the corners. And then you can have 2 further coats. Job done. You can see already it's starting to go darker in places, and as we go through the demonstration in this half an hour, you'll see it start to turn. Before we jump on to the next one, I know it's a quick overview. Anybody got any questions with that one?
I think for the guys and gals at CTD, I think the important question is to ask your tiler what the substrate is, and make them aware that if it's going onto a plastered surface, to make sure that that plaster is dry, or you may run into debonding in areas, you see. So stay for plastered walls. Is it 4 weeks or is it 2 weeks?
Plaster should be 4 weeks.
4 weeks. 4 weeks. So yeah, just to be advised.
Okay. Good question for Kieran. Look at it. Well spotted. My eyesight's good.
Just a quick one. What's the weight capacity that it holds?
Good question, Kieran. Good question. It would. If I have to be totally honest, you got me there on that one. I'll be totally honest about that. Okay.
I'm pretty sure, Steve, it will hold any weight depending that the background can take that weight as well, you see. So
absolutely spot on there. Yeah, that's it. You've got to remember that now. Thanks, Glenn. Any further questions? Cool. Next is one of our premium adhesives, which is the ARDEX X77. Do you know what's so special about ARDEX X77?
yeah, it's the best adhesive on the market.
Presuming that came from you, Glenn. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. X77. Got loads of positive things about it. First one being the extra yield. Most tile adhesives you're looking at about 5.5 litres of water. Okay, it's the standard ones. With this, it takes 8.5 litres of water. So straight away, yeah, it's going to give you extra yield, extra product. So it goes further. Yeah, and you've all seen the videos. I bet you've all seen it in branch. Yeah, with an 8mm notch trowel, you'll get 8 square metres out of the bag. Okay, and you've all seen the example that we did here, where we've got the extra 14 tiles on the wall. Okay, so it gives you that. It's also got a better working time in regards to when you spread it on the wall. When you rip this out of the wall, which I'm going to do in a bit, okay, I've got an hour to get the tiles in. So it's ideal for big tiles where you've got a lot of messing around. Yeah, it's not like your day-to-day, just putting these ones on, okay. It's a bit of technical work, getting the tiles cut into place. You've got an hour to get them tiles in. Oh, now I've mixed it up, I've got a 3-hour pot life, okay? So again, real good pot life to be working with. The other thing is it's part of our Microtech range. So it's got fibres in it again to make it even more flexible. So I'm just going to spread this wall up, and while I'm doing it, because you don't want to hear me, you know, puffing and panting doing that, okay, I'm going to hand over to Glenn again, who's going to give you a little bit more introduction into the X77, and then we'll come back, and I've got the biggest, heaviest tile I could find, and I have to be honest, yeah, fingers crossed it's not going to catch me out today.
Right, okay, thanks, Steve. You crack on, mate. Yeah, just on with the water content with the X77, you know, I visit quite a few CTD branches and that, and talking to your traders, and I'm trying to convince them that it actually takes 8.5 litres of water. If you look on the back of Competitors' bags, you're probably looking at around 4 to 5 litres of water. So let's say with a 20 kilo bag of X77 mixed with 8.5 litres of water, it gives you a finished yield in the bucket of 19 litres of mixed product ready to go. Competitors with a 4 litre ratio, you'd probably have in a bucket about 13 litres of mixed product in the bucket ready to go. So that's a massive amount of difference. So that's an extra 6 litres of mixed product. And you can actually visibly see it if you had 2 buckets alongside of each other. It can also hold, if the tile was at 1 square metre, it can hold upwards of 50 kilos if that tile weighed 50 kilos. That's a 1 square metre tile without it slumping, and that's really, really impressive. So your tile fixes, they don't need to batten out. They don't need to prepare that for battens, so saving them time and money as well. There's no slump in this product. It also has Kevlar fibers in the product, so it's very, very good at grabbing hold of the back of the tile. That's why it's got a double slump resistance for the X77. Again, we also supply it in white. Do many of you guys stock this product, the X77? Give us a yes, no.
Yeah.
Simon?
Yes, it's one of our bid sellers in the branch. X77, both in the bags and in the buckets.
Right. You sell quite a bit, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. And also, when I'm talking to these traders, if you work out the amount of yield you get out, so 19 litres, divide that by the square meterage and the price it costs them, it works out pretty or much cheaper than your cheapest tile adhesive. Let's say a tenner a bag for product X, whereas ours is like $17.99. If you do the conversion rate in regards to the square meterage, you are saving money and they're saving time. So don't forget, if a guy's mixing up a bag of adhesive, that's like 3 or 4 minutes. So if he's mixing up 60 bags of a competitor's and 35 bags of ARDEX, he saved 25 times per bag less mixing. So you've actually saved that bloke about 2 hours in mixing product, which again is another cost saving to the fixer. We call it less time mixing, more time fixing is our motto for the X77. Steve, you're doing a wonderful job there.
Right, I was just thinking, mate, I think I need to go back on the tools. Yeah. See a little bit, at least 30 quid.
That is
it's
a tile, that. Not even moved.
I have to be honest, that was a heavy tile, but it is holding there like I was expecting it to. Really, really good, really nice. If it does fall off, it's not the adhesive, it's the backing. You can see it bowing a little bit. Any questions?
I think we had a question about bed thickness.
Okay. In regards to bed thickness, obviously what we always say is, at ARDEX, we try and encourage the tiler, the reason we do this, I'll get round to that, to use a trowel that will give him a solid bed, okay, or a solid application. So what we say is, start maybe with an 8mm, put your tile on like that big one I put on there, and if it's not giving good coverage on the back of the tile, you should always be pulling the tile off to check that it's not giving good coverage. You go up to a 12, if it's not giving, and then once you get to the right tile, that's it, you crack on. In regards to thickness, as you said, you can use up to a 20mm notch trowel, squash in, but yeah, it's fine for that. Okay, we wouldn't recommend building up with this one too much. All right, but I've got a product we can build up with floors and stuff like that if you want to. Okay, but it's got it. It's a nice adhesive. Do you know what I like about it? And I'll be honest and truthful is, you know, I'm getting a little bit old now, as you can all tell. But my wrists, my joints, they really hurt. And if it's a really stiff tile adhesive. If you're doing that all day long, it'll really fill it on your joints. This is that creamy, it's unbelievable. There's no effort in spreading that on the wall whatsoever. So feedback I get from contractors, and I've been in many of CTD branches, is that, you know, if they don't like anything else, the extra yield, the fact that it'll put on big tiles, is the fact that it's just easy to use. It's so creamy and nice. Okay. Any other questions on that one? So what we've almost got there is a system. You can see the tankage going a little bit now. Okay, so we've tanked the wall, 77, and as you say, the latest session this afternoon will show you some cracks. Right, next one. And I am going to have to ask Glenn in a minute to jump in. Next one we're going to go to is our X325. Can anybody, before I go into to mix it up again, Glenn, to talk about this product, can anybody tell me what X325 or 325 stands for?
Goes from 3 mil to 25.
Spot on. 3 mil to 25 mil. Okay, so really easy, really simple. So I've got a little demonstration to show you that I can fill in an area and carry on tiling and drop the tile in one go, hopefully. All right. So Glenn, would you like to go through the X325 while I mix it up?
Yeah, I can bother them with another story of mine. Not a problem. So guys, X325. I hope you've all got that in stock. It's on your systems. So it was a gap in the ARDEX armory because we didn't really have a pourable tile adhesive. We had the X78, which was a semi-pourable, but not a fully pourable. We're really only supplying the CTD in the grey. You can get it in the white, but predominantly most porcelain tiles, internally, externally, a greyish in colour. So we launched this product. Now, the thing I tell the customers, because I take the technical calls, is that I'm always pushing this product because, again, we're here trying to save these guys money and time, ultimately. There's no need to butter the back of the tile. If anyone's doing like a 20 mil porcelain tile, what an effort that is. And I've seen guys try to butter the back of these tiles. They've got it balancing on the bucket's going everywhere. Yeah, a couple of guys have got these a table set out, you know, these professional guys, but it's just a pain. So all you really need to do is mix it up in the bucket, literally pour it out of the bucket, which Steve will show you, and rib it out depending the size of your tile and what thickness you want. But the incredible thing is, you're thinking, hang on, how is this tile adhesive holding that rib? It's because it's loaded up with polymers. So as soon as you lay that tile into the ribs ribs collapse and attach on the back of that tile, giving you a full bed. It's really incredible. I had one job in London in Leicester Square, and we'll talk about this much later. I think we're doing one in an anhydrite screed. It was an anhydrite screed that was put down. My tiling contractor used the P51 primer to prime the surface, and then directly on top with this pourable thick bed. He come back later, the following day, with a hammer and bolster, and it basically ripped the face off the anhydrite screed. So this 325 really stuck this tile down, and yeah, it was well impressed. It was well impressed. So Steve, down to you, mate.
Okay. Wait for the camera. There we go. Right one, Charlotte. Come on. There we go. You see, true pourable adhesive. Gonna fill that hole in there. So for localised areas, if you need to make it up, and we haven't got AA46 or NA and then type of products to make it up, you can do it with this. It won't go. Oh, decent out there, you can't do this with, because the ribs will just close together. trying to get you if you can see it now. Got a bit carried away there with how much I put on. Have to do the whole bed at this rate. Just drag it across. So what you can find, hopefully, is try again. Is the fact, even at 25mm thick, like it was in there, okay, it's still holding its rib shape. You see that? And with this product, mixed it up, okay, it's got a 30-minute pot life, 20-minute working time, so now I spread that at 20 minutes. Once I put the time in, I've got 10-minute adjustment time, but it's still a rapid. 3 hours I can be grabbed in, okay? But that's quite unique for in the industry for what it's doing, okay? Lots of the other ones that I've used, lots of the other ones in my time, okay? The ribs tend to drop out, but it's just sitting there. Drop the tire in. Really easy, simple. But again, a good way to look around the edge of the tile. Absolutely no gaps whatsoever. Job done. 3 to 25mm in one.
What trowel was that you used?
I used a 20mm notch trowel there, Glenn.
Right.
But again, dropped out really nice. No issues with that. Okay, so we had a rib, really high rib, as you say, they're not falling in, it's not that wet. It pours out the bucket as you watch, but it's not that wet as it goes in. So again, for localised areas, it's ideal. For patching, for building up. Yeah, whereas historically in the tiling industry, we would always be encouraging people to build the floor up, make the floor good first, which again we still do sometimes, but as you say, if it's a localised area, it's just maybe a wall's been knocked out, or there's a trench in the floor, or whatever, you can build it up to 25 mil. Any questions on that one?
Can we see the back? Can we see the back of the tile?
Can do, if I can get it out.
Then the guys can't call me a liar.
Pulling the base up. There you go. Okay.
Might have to turn outside to show it.
Can't really see it.
Camera.
Is there a different camera angle? All right. See, guys, that's obliterated the back of that tile with adhesive. Well impressed.
I say that was just tapping with my hand. It wasn't vibrated in or directed in. That was just tapping with the back of my hand. Really good, really easy. Another solution for when you're at that. Any questions on that? So just to recap. Okay. The tanking. I've done it. Oh, we moved that camera. Can't quite see it. The tanking. First coat's gone off. Ready now for the second coat, opposite direction. And then that's good to go, good to tile, good surface. A lot of people ask us with that tanking, and I'll do it, okay? And I know this is only one coat, so bear with me. About how flexible it is. Which camera we on, Charlotte? So what I've done is I've pulled the paper face off the plasterboard. You can see that, how flexible it is. Lots of movement in it, okay? That's just one coat. It's really, really good. If there is any movement in the background, the tanking will help hold it together. Okay? So that's the tanking, comes in grey and white, as you say, really fast, within 90 minutes you can on it. X77, as you can see from here, really creamy, nice and decent to spread. You get the extra yield, comes in grey and white, 1 hour pot life, 3 hour working time, great the next day. Our swimming pool spec every day of the week. If you ever do a swimming pool, it's always ARDEX X77 for the walls, 78 for the floor. Okay.
Question from Simon.
Simon?
The WPC, could the customer just use the one coat, or will they really need to have to use 2 coats?
No, it's got to use the 2 coats, okay, because it's all about the thickness, okay. There's 2 reasons for that. It's about the thickness it's required. But if there is any, I don't know, maybe the background wasn't brilliantly flat, when you roll one way, you might miss something. So when you roll the other way, you're going to get it, okay.
Yeah.
So as a cross, I always tell people, the same in the floor industry, we always cross-link stuff, and that guarantees a complete seal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Next, any other questions? And then we finished off with the PTB, portable thick bed, 3 to 25, the ARDEX X325. Really, again, easy to mix, as you've seen. It trialled out, it filled that hole in, it wasn't an issue whatsoever. Yeah, just poured it in there, trialled it out, the ribs are still there, okay, good to go. Drop the tile in, solid bed, very, very simple. I thought we'd do it that way today because you guys have seen so many times people put a piece of glass on it, yeah, to get that solid bed. I thought I'd do something different today by taking it up to that 25mm and still getting that solid bed, okay. We do a lot more adhesives at ARDEX. Obviously, we do the X7, X7R, our standard range. Okay, but we thought we'd show you some different ones today. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got no questions for me, anything you want to add before we finish, Glenn?
No, that's good. Any inquiries about products, then feel free to give the office a call for technical or your local area manager. So
and the same,
your attention.
The same with the duck box. If you need any duck boxes, let us know.